Knowledge. What is knowledge? The central aim of knowledge is the recovery of the self, of our true self-existence. Sri Aurobindo, the synthesis of yoga. Knowledge is not information we use. It is a dynamic power of consciousness which can manifest in us. It is rather a state of consciousness in which we know. We must learn to invoke this state of consciousness and to be able to hold onto it. What do we know about ourselves? We are partially educated for a specific purpose, which determines our qualifications and character. Our knowledge is fragmented and cut off from the holistic vision of things. It is not integrated around one center. Our aim is to get information and know-how. It is to survive, to succeed in life, rather than to get an integral understanding of it. What is the image of an educated man today? How can we determine it? By success and level of intelligence, and the amount of scientific information the person can use? Or is there something more? The efficacy and the success seem to define our approach to education today. Education becomes a direct recruitment for social institutions and industries. For many, it becomes a way to survive and to obtain material gains. If that would be all, we would not look for a deeper meaning in education, but simply follow the known path. Let us have a brief look at the relation of the individual to society. Social, governmental, corporate interests are constantly restricting and modifying the creativity and freedom of individuals. Though every system requires individuals, still it tries to restrict their freedom, keeping them under control and in the framework of its immediate needs. So we are educated to get jobs, to earn our livelihood, to succeed and to survive in this world. And we ignore our inner aspirations, trying to find our own place in the social system, seeking to be accepted by it. However, individuals always aspire beyond limitations. Inner aspiration cannot be restrained or neglected for too long. The need for the inner realization and development is driving the individual forward and is a way to inner peace, joy, and creativity. It is the key to the transformation of the world, without which there would be no social development and prosperity. What is an integrally developed individual? One whose faculties of consciousness are integrated around the innermost center, the psychic being. One who possesses integrally developed consciousness, who is interested in the discovery of human potential and hidden capacities, going beyond personal limitations, realizing universal powers in the individual framework. One who becomes aware of hidden and secret operations of consciousness. One who obtains comprehensive understanding of other cultures, realizing the ideals of human unity. One who is free and creative in both inner and outer activities. What is integral learning? How does it correspond to the formation of an integral personality? What kind of individual will we see at the end of this process? The divine prototype, universal Purusha. Atman, the self, is constant and unchangeable, but in the form of consciousness, Purusha, it is changing and evolving in this manifestation, through which we can arrive at the divine prototype in the individual form. consciousness is the key to all our developmental changes and growth. What is consciousness? How does it work? Consciousness reveals itself through its faculties: seeing, hearing, thinking, speaking, feeling, and body. Therefore, we should train and develop our faculties and instruments of knowledge. The pure faculties of consciousness are the properties of the universal Purusha, and therefore of every individual, independent from cultural, national, religious, or social heredity, which emerged in the process of evolution. Training and educating these universal faculties in the individual can be considered as a part of universal or spiritual education, leading eventually to the discovery of the innermost self. Integral approach to education may consist of many different practices and, depending on our own conscious preference and need, may result in certain unique approaches. This awareness of how faculties of consciousness are educated and how they operate is the foundation for integral education. Thus, one can dive into any field of knowledge or activity with confidence and certainty that the answers and solutions will be found. The University of Integral Studies is for all ages, professions, and specializations. It does not end with graduation, but rather begins. The knowledge continues to grow and becomes more and more complete and integrated around our innermost center. During the first period of studies, we shall train all the faculties of consciousness in a systematic manner. How it operates through seeing, hearing, thinking, speaking, feeling, and being in the body. We gradually become aware of our faculties and their functions. Such courses as how to think and to be conscious in our thoughts, how to speak and to be conscious in speech, how to improve visual memory, how to improve mental concentration and mental silence, etc., could be prepared and offered to all. The individual is developing and deepening his knowledge and skills during his lifetime, and the expression of his universal potential is always unique. One cannot assess individual development on the objective scale, for it is the subjective development of consciousness which cannot be compared with the development of others. One can only make a progress assessment of one's own development in time. And here lies the difficulty of accepting the uniqueness of every individual development. It is important for many, especially youngsters, before choosing any specialization, to have the whole set of instruments and tools developed to a certain extent before they can consciously choose. It will change its character quite considerably, especially if they apply a set of integrally developed faculties to the concrete field of knowledge and an integral approach to sciences. Deconstruction of the old forms of knowledge will be the result of this application, wherein the search for a new vision and approach to specialization becomes the method. The next stage will introduce the deepening of our self-awareness through the development of psychic qualities. These will be applied to our life and the concrete fields of knowledge. For instance, to be sincere in our thoughts, feelings, words, social relations, or how to gain equality in our mental judgments, emotions, feelings, thoughts, etc. We cannot discover ourselves without our self-realization. The psychic being is the center of the true integrity of consciousness. So we need to find in ourselves and our lives true sincerity, humility, gratitude, perseverance, aspiration, receptivity, progress, and courage. which are oriented towards our inner discovery and goodness, generosity, equality, and peace turn towards others. That is how the faculties of consciousness will be able to purify and transform our human nature into the divine being. As a result, man will be able to become a creator of his life, capable of embodying and transmitting a free and creative consciousness. Integrally developed, he will be able to reflect the universal faculties and will be capable of creating any new environments and meaningful relations in it. It is a step forward where every individual becomes an effective contributor to the social welfare, reflecting the depths of the universal being rather than superficial relations on the surface. And thus he will be no more in conflict with others. The deeper consciousness in us can have a chance to manifest.